If you didn't get a chance to type out your notes, that's fine, or print out your notes, that's fine, guys. It's not necessary. I typed these out in such a way that you don't. Come on, buddy, change. Okay, let's get started. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get started here. So hopefully you guys had a good first day at camp. Quadratics, a little bit about quadratics. So let's chat about that, guys. So you guys know the parent function y equals x squared. If it's x squared, it's going to open upwards. Oops, I can't draw for crap. Can I say that? I think I can say that. Ms. McLaren, I'm sorry if you do not approve. I apologize. If you have y equals negative x squared, it opens downward. And pretty much that's all you got to know. That's the parent function there. Standard form, a lot of textbooks call ax squared plus bx plus c equals ax squared plus bx plus c as standard form, guys. And then, of course, you know how to find your roots. They said you can factor this out into x plus a and then x plus b or whatnot. But we're not interested in that. We're interested in completing the square part. So y equals a parenthesis x minus h close it squared plus k. This is known as vertex form. Because h and k is your vertex. And then a just tells you your vertical stretch or compress. And of course, if it's positive, it opens up. If it's negative, it opens down. So let's just talk about, like, let's just, I don't know, I'm just going to make one up, guys. Let's see, a simple one. X squared minus, what's a good one? 2x.
Wait, Travis, hold on. Sorry to interrupt, but Brenda said she's in the waiting room.
Oh, who?
Brenda?
My bad. Sorry, Brenda. Oh, yeah, she is in the waiting room. How long has she been there? Like 5 minutes?
I think so.
Oh, man, my bad. Sorry, Miss Brenda. I apologize, but you should be in now. Okay. Hopefully everyone's back. Hopefully Ms. Hawk approves of this lecture here. All right. Anyways, let's get back to this topic, guys. So I have this equation. What if I asked, like, without a calculator, if I told you to plot this on a grid, or can you plot this on a grid without any hesitation? So yes, you should be able to complete the square on this and find your vertex. Remember, HK is your vertex here. So how do you do it? Like this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and write x squared minus 2x, because that was what the original was. I'm going to leave some space, just like yesterday. So that blank there is some number there. And then plus 3. I just moved the 3 to the side. So what I do is I take that 2, and just like yesterday, 2 divided by 2 is 1, or I guess negative 1, because it's negative 2. And then negative 1 squared is 1. So I put plus 1. Now, I don't have an equal sign, so I guess you could put plus 1 on the y, but I want to have it as y, guys. So since I added 1, that's your magic number, right? I have to balance it out by going minus 1. So this one here is for balance. So now that I balanced it out, this 3 terms is going to be y equals x minus 1 with a square on it, minus, oh, not minus, plus 3 minus 1 is 2. So my vertex is at 1, comma 2. See? Now, why does it work? So this graph obviously looks something like this. Has a y-intercept up to 3, 1, 2 is probably somewhere there, and it looks something like that. Notice that is your min. So your vertex is going to give you either a min or a max. And then the axis of symmetry, if you needed to know that, is going to be right at x equals 1. Axis of symmetry. Okay. Why does it work? Well, it works because we haven't changed anything, guys. If I were to expand this, so let me go ahead and use a different color here. If I were to expand all this right here, well, x minus 1 squared, that's just going to be, let's see, y equals x times x is x squared. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x, but there's going to be 2 of them when you go to negative 1 times x again. So minus 2x. And then negative 1 times negative 1 is going to be plus 1. And then plus 2. That 2 is this 2. So then when I add this right here, look what you get. So let me go this way. Y equals x squared minus 2x plus 3. Well, look, that's the same, guys. That's the same. You haven't changed anything. So that's why vertex form works perfectly awesome. So when is this going to help you in real life? Well, I mean, physics is a real life class, right? So it's going to help you as in determining maxes or mins. If you have like, I don't know, some baseball that you're throwing and it's following a quadratic, some quadratic form or parabolic form. So you can find a max or min by finding the vertex, and the vertex will tell you the max height if it is a baseball or a basketball that you're throwing. So that's how it's going to be helpful, guys. So hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed that. And all of this should be a review. I hope that all of this is making sense to you guys. So let's see if we can do some questions without a calculator. So example 1, which equation best matches the graph below? The first thing I would do, I see that all of them have a 0.4, so I'm not even going to bother with that. All I care about is that right there. It's a positive parabola. Everything is positive here, positive, 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 positive. So my vertex is located at -6, comma, -2. So what I'm looking for is something that says x plus 6 minus 2. So I look for that. That one's out. That one's out. So it's between this two. And then this is the one that has a -2. So it's letter A. And that's it, guys. It really is that simple. All right. Cool or not cool? Well, I can't really see all faces, so I can't tell. But yeah, I'm assuming that you guys are cool. All right, example 2. Which equation best matches the graph below? Okay, the very first thing, whenever you're taking an exam, guys, this is just testing strategies, and I know you guys are all really good. The first thing I would do is delete the ones that have a positive coefficient. This one's out, D's out. Why am I deleting those two? Because this is opening downwards. And then the next thing I would do, they all have a 0.3, or I guess A and C have -0.3, so don't even bother with that. Focus on the vertex. That vertex looks like it's 1, 6. So I'm looking for x minus 1 on the inside of your parentheses with a square on the outside, and I'm looking for a +6. So again, it's A again, and I probably just wrote the answer as letter A for both because I wasn't thinking and just typed in the answer immediately. I should have been more diverse and made it like letter D or something. But anyways, so there it is, guys. And yeah, it is that simple. Now, I have had students in the past say, why is it always the opposite of this? And we might get into transformations later on, guys. But if you're having issues with why is it going to be, why is it always the opposite? Consider H like having its own little parenthesis like that. So you can see if that H is negative, negative times a negative is positive. And if H is positive, well, then you just have a minus there. So that might help you guys for if you guys have had issues like, oh, which way do I go? Does a minus mean move right? Does a minus mean move left? So there it is, guys. All right, example 3. And yeah, we're gonna get to these notes really quick because you guys are already pros at this. All right, so it says complete the square to rewrite this equation in vertex form. So let's go ahead and rewrite it in vertex form, guys. I'm gonna write y equals x squared plus 4x. I'm gonna put plus, here's my blank, I'm gonna have some number there, and there's my -3. And that -3 is that one. All right, I take that 4. I divide it by 2, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then I square it. So I'm gonna put 4 in there. So I can't, that's just magic. I can't just put a +4 in there, so I gotta balance it out. So I gotta go -4. So this -4 is 4 balanced. So now, these 3 right here, these 3 terms right there will make a binomial with a square on it, parenthesis, x plus 2, close it, squared, and then -3 minus 4, what's that? Oh, not equal sign, it's a minus. 4, 5, 6, 7, -7. And there it is, guys, and that's it. So when you do your Delta Master Day, it really is gonna be that simple. A lot of you guys will probably finish it in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe even less. All right, example 4. Complete the square to rewrite this function. So now this one, notice, is gonna be a decimal. I don't like decimals, I prefer fractions. So I'm gonna work with fractions, guys. I have no calculator here. So again, I'm gonna write y equals x squared plus 9x plus, I'm gonna put a blank there, -2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that 9, I'm gonna divide it by 2. If you wanna say 4.5, that's fine, but I'm not gonna do that. Because then 4.5 squared, then I gotta start thinking like, okay, I think it's like 20.25. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I wouldn't even bother, guys. I would just go 9 over 2 and then just square that. So let's see, 9 squared is 81. 2 squared is 4. So there is my fraction, 81 over 4. So if I put plus there, I got to put a minus 81 over 4. All right, so how are you going to type this into your delta math? You're just going to type it in like this. You're just going to go y equals, and then your expression is going to be x plus, because that's a plus there. And it's going to be the 9 over 2, because it's always b divided by 2. And then you just square that sucker. And then you're going to go minus, and then let's see, I'm going to put this in negative 2, guys, in a fraction. If you want to get the fraction, multiply by that denominator there. So negative 8 over 4 is the same thing as negative 2. So let's see, 81 and 8, when I add them together, I know there's a minus, but they're the same sign. So 81 and 8, that's 89. So 89 over 4, and keep the minus sign. And delta math is probably going to have it in decimal, but we can write it in the fraction, and it should count it right. If it doesn't, just hit me up like some of you guys did yesterday, and we'll look at it to see if it really is a software issue or if it's a human issue, human error. All right, guys, let's keep going. Example 5, it says, find the vertex and axis of symmetry for y equals x squared minus 6x plus 45. Again, it's the same thing. So this time they're asking, they want me to find the vertex and axis of symmetry. So I'm going to go ahead and just complete the square. Yes, I know that you can type it into the calculator, but we don't have a calculator, guys. So y equals, let's see, x squared minus 6x plus, let's see, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. And then plus 45 minus 9 for balance. Again, these 3 together will form x minus 3, close it with a square on it, plus, and then 45 minus 9, that's just 36. And there it is. So my vertex, I'm going to write vertex, and that is going to be 3 comma 36. And I really should be putting parentheses on it. Axis of symmetry. Can I make an acronym for that? Axis of sim is going to be, oh, no parentheses. That's just going to be x equals 3. If you want a visual, for you visuals learners, it looks something like, I'm going to say that's 3, and I'm going to say way up here, I'm going to say that's 36. So it looks something like, not to scale. All right, cool. I think we're doing good. Oh, I just got a notification. Do I have someone in the waiting room for a while too, or no? I think we're good right now, guys. AOS for, okay, AOS for axis of symmetry. That's fine. Let's use that. Find the vertex and axis of symmetry for this guy. All right, same thing again, guys. Y equals x squared plus 14x plus 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 squared is 49. So plus 40 minus 49 to balance it out, because we can't just add magic numbers in there. And then these 3 terms will reduce to x plus 7, close it with a square on it. And then 40 minus 49, that's going to be minus 9. And vertex, I'm going to put V-E-R-T-E-X. Vertex is going to be negative 7 comma negative 9. And then your axis of symmetry is going to be x equals negative 7. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. I don't see any mistakes. And there we are, guys. All right, example 7, or am I going too fast? I'll slow down. Example 7. Find the vertex and axis of symmetry of y equals x squared minus 8x plus 17. So again, I'm going to start y equals x squared minus 8x. And then that 8, I'm just going to divide it by 2, which is 4. And then I'm going to square it. 4 squared is? That's right, it's 16. Plus 17, and then to balance it out, I'm going to go minus 16. So then from there, guys, we just go y equals, and yeah, if it's starting to get boring, it's because it's the same thing over and over again. Practice makes progress, guys. X minus 4, close it, put a square on it, and then 17 minus 16 is just plus 1. So my vertex is at 4 comma 1, and the axis of symmetry is at x equals 4. That's where you can cut your parabola down x equals 4, and it'll be, you can mirror it from that axis or whatnot. All right, now let's go to the last page. And these I did a good job today. I actually typed this out this morning. I gave the, I think Miss Grajeda would be proud. I referenced where I got the question from. I don't know if this is the correct way to reference it, but so yeah, I took it from the official SAT study guide of 2018. This is from practice test number 1. It's the calculator section number 30. Since it's copyrighted, I probably cannot upload this video to YouTube, but that's okay because we're just going to upload it to Google Classroom, and no one else will be able to see it other than you guys and admin. So here we go. It says, which of the following is an equivalent form of the equation of the graph shown on the xy plane above, from which the coordinates of vertex A, so here's vertex A, can be identified as constants in the equation. So when you read this question, guys, don't freak out. You don't even need a calculator for this. So what they're basically telling us, look right here, from which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified. Well, the coordinates of vertex A, they're pretty much telling you vertex form. Y equals A, parenthesis x minus h, close it squared, plus k, where hk is your vertex. So immediately, guys, you should be deleting A and B. Please, 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 the worst answer on this one would have been letter B. So do not ever choose letter B. If you were to factor this out, letter B would not be correct because that you would have a 2x instead of a minus 2x. All right, so next, from these two, there's only one that's correct. So the only one that's going to work is letter D, and that's it. It really is that simple, guys. If you want to, as you saw, we did it in probably less than 30 seconds. But if you're doing this on your own, you can probably do it in 5 seconds. So this SAT, guys, I don't really believe it really tests you. I don't really believe it's testing how much math you know. They're really just testing to see if you know all the tricks on how to test. If you wanted to do it the right way, y equals, let's see, x squared minus 2x. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So plus 1 minus 15 minus 1. And then y equals, let's see, x minus 1, close it squared, minus 16. And there it is. That's if you wanted to do it the right way. But again, I don't think the SAT is really testing to see how much math you know. I think it's really just testing to see how much can you conquer for that one specific exam. So if you want to make some math gains, swing by my room. We can do SAT all morning and lunch and after school, or as much as you want. And I can guarantee that you will get you, if you want a high score, I can guarantee we can get you that. All right, so here's another one, guys, from that same exam, or from that same study guide, but this is from test 4, number 28, if you want to look it up. And it starts off with this function there in the middle. And it says, which of the following is an equivalent form of the function f above, in which the minimum value of f appears as a constant or coefficient? So you got to think a little bit. Minimum value, so if you think about it, so obviously this is opening up. If I have a quadratic, and this is not, I'm not saying this is that one, I'm just making this up. The minimum value is going to be found in its vertex. Do you guys see that? Min value. And notice that it's the vertex. So immediately I should start thinking, maybe I have something in vertex form. So immediately your head should be like, oh, it's either going to be C or D. And if you're a good test taker, you're probably going to, well, okay, I don't want to give test hints out just yet. So if I were to FOIL this out, the worst answer here from all of these, from these four choices, the worst answer is letter A. So if you choose letter A, I'm going to put an awkward emoji because you should not be answering letter A. That's the worst one. Letter B is just this FOILed out. So if you FOIL this out, x times x is x squared. The difference between 6 and 4 is 2, so 2x, and then 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. So this is just that FOILed out. But that's not telling me, look what it says. It says where it's a constant or a coefficient. Well, y equals a parenthesis x minus h, close it squared, plus k. This k is your y value. And if it's a minimum, that's your constant that I'm looking for. So it's either going to be negative 21 or negative 25. So let's see which one it is. And I know some of you already figured out. You're like, oh, that's a plus 2. So that means it has to be a plus 1. So that's just from like testing hints and knowing like what I just did there. Now, in case you're looking at like, well, Chavez, I have no idea what you just did. Relax. I'm going to show you. So if I FOIL this out, you will have y equals x squared plus 2x minus 24, just like letter B. And then look, that 2, so 2 divided by 2. So y equals 2 divided by, I'll write it, x squared plus 2x plus 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 squared is 1, so plus 1 minus 24 minus 1. These three turn into y equals parenthesis x plus 1, close it, put a square on it, minus 24 minus 1 is 25. So there it is. That's the minimum value that I wanted. So which one is the one that shows it? Letter D. So there it is, guys. What do you guys think? All right, let's all get back together, guys. So let's all come back.